What's up, everybody? It's Blackjack. Welcome back to the NBA 2K17 myLeague Brooklyn Nets series. We're 56 games into the regular season, heading into the beginning of March as the end of the year approaches. And according to you guys in the comments, you wanted to see the Philadelphia 76ers game. So we simmed past the Charlotte Hornets, who we beat 105-97 at home. Ronnie Hollis-Jefferson, the slam dunk champion, leading the way in scoring with 23 points. Kemba Walker with 28 of his own for the Hornets, but it was not enough as they tried to rally back in the fourth to win. But the Brooklyn Nets, with a fast start, able to go ahead and secure that one. However, this leads to some unfortunate news as Julius Randle has gone down with a high left ankle sprain. He'll be out for about a month. I think I'm probably going to sit him out for the rest of the year. I don't know how much good it's going to do for us to bring him back in and possibly re-aggravate that injury. So, to the Wells Fargo Center we go to take on the 76ers, who are in playoff contention this year and looking to secure that spot. They feature a starting lineup of Jared Bayless, Gary Neal, Ben Simmons, Paul Millsap, and Jahlil Okafor. Lonzo Ball coming off the bench, and today we will have Doug McDermott starting in place of Julius Randle. First quarter, Okafor already down low, working on his former teammate and Sixer Nerlens Noel, now a part of this team. And then Clarkson getting to work here, going towards the baseline, able to go ahead and drop a quick two there. Later on in the game, all tied up 4-4. Okafor still working down low on Nerlens Noel. Has not been a letdown for the Sixers thus far, as they've been quite anchored quite well with even having someone like Joel Embiid on the bench. 4-7 game, and then it gets tied up here as Kilpatrick hits the three, but then thanks to the foul by Jahlil Okafor bowling over Nerlens Noel, they get an extra free throw there, and then later on, Bam Adebayo straight to the basket, slams that one home. Midway through the first, Clarkson sizing up, going back down low to Bam, Bam backing down, spin move, step back, step through, one-hander hits it, and the game's now up to 4-point lead for the Nets. Kilpatrick working down low on Gary Neal, spins around him, puts it up for two, and then he'll go to the line. He would convert the N1. 15-10 ball game here. Ben Simmons. He was also in that slam dunk contest with Ronnie Hollis-Jefferson. Missed three-pointer there, but Jahlil Okafor able to go ahead and rebound that one. He's been busy tonight already with 9 points, leading the way for the Sixers. Noel working on Okafor, gets him to jump off balance, and then fadeaway jumper off the bank, good to go. Nets taking a pretty significant lead here. Lonzo Ball checking into the game, and he does what he does best. Finding the open guy, finds Saric in the corner, hits the three. Sixers bring the lead down to 4. Later on, Nets still up by 3. Gary Neal driving, gets it inside to Saric, who hits the layup, and now the Sixers are only down 1. Lonzo Ball cooking here with Philadelphia. Kicks it out. Gary Neal for 3 straight away, gets it to go, and the Sixers have regained the lead. McCullough in the corner here with 2 minutes to go in the first quarter. Nets need to get it together after allowing a 9-0 run for the Sixers. McCullough gonna pop this one from 3, no good. Adebayo with the rebound. John Holland asking for the pick, gets it, drives, past Gary Neal and to the basket. He scores, ties it all back up. Joel Embiid checks in, gets a pass out to Gary Neal, who then throws it away. Jeremy Lin throws it over to Chris McCullough and slams it home. Lonzo Ball knows to stay in his lane, and McCullough finishes it home with the alley-oop. Second quarter, just starting here. Jared Bayless missing the 2-pointer there. Kilpatrick bringing it back up the floor. Little size-up crossover. Step back from about 28. All good. Kilpatrick knows he loves that spot, goes for it every time, seems to go in almost every time. And then Bayless trying to get back here. Nice crossover to get past Kilpatrick, and then lays it up and in. 30-all ball game. Clarkson finding Nerlens and slamming it home with a huge tomahawk finish. Nerlens Noel doing a great job thus far on the offensive side of things, but here's a bad defensive possession for the Nets as McDermott allows Saric to slide to the basket and slam it home. 34-32, Brooklyn still up by 2. Clarkson finding Nerlens. Kick back out to Clarkson, back outside the McDermott's, got a jack up at 3 to beat the clock and does so. 3-pointer falls for Dougie McBuckets. Nets lead back up to 5. Kick out here to Millsap from 3, not able to hit. And here come the Nets in transition. Kilpatrick, kick out to McDermott. McDermott, pull up, three-pointer, goes in, gets the roll. Nets push the lead back up to 8 after a 14-6 run. John Holland in the corner now. Ooh, look at the behind-the-back crossover and tries to drive to the basket, but is denied by Joel Embiid. Back up the floor comes Jeremy Grant. Kick out to Gary Neal, hits the short little 2. And now Philly storming right back in, now only down 2. Hollis Jefferson out to Miles Bridges, who checks in. Kick out to the corner for John Holland, 3-ball, nails it. John Holland has been a great addition to this team. Didn't know how well or how much time he would get this year, but he's been great off the bench. Brooklyn up 4. Gary Neal from the wing. It's only a 2-pointer, but he gets it to go. Gary Neal's been pretty good on offense as well for the Sixers this far. Later on in the second half, Brooklyn up 51-50. Ben Simmons looking to get to work now here in the corner. Pass inside to Okafor, drops it into Millsap on the give and go, and he lays that one up. Philly gains the lead again. Kilpatrick out on the wing to Noel, and look at this. Hollis Jefferson driving to the basket and slamming it over Ben Simmons. The slam dunkers are going at it again. Clarkson tries to get it inside to Hollis Jefferson, and he gets picked off, and then Ben Simmons back the other way on Hollis Jefferson. Returning the favor, and that was actually Hollis Jefferson's 4th foul in this game. He got into foul trouble very early. Jarrett Bayless from the wing, not able to hit as the Nets are now down by 5. Kilpatrick driving up the floor. Again, they give him that pull-up 3, and he'll nail it every single time. He likes it from the right wing, and now they're only down 1. Clarkson working on Bayless. Look at the crossover going up and under Jahlil Okafor. I think he learned the lesson that Joel Embiid gave him earlier, and the Nets take the lead. Later on, Nets down 1. Kilpatrick trying to get it inside the Hollis Jefferson, picked off by Ben Simmons. Driving, gets it to Millsap, and despite McDermott trying to defend that defend that shot, he's able to get it to go. Now Kilpatrick driving. This time it gets swatted away by Okafor. Back up the floor comes Jarrett Bayless. Wide open pull-up 3. Nails it. Philadelphia up by 6. Later on in the third, a little bit past the midway point, Sixers up 4. Saric up at the top of the key. Kick out. Jarrett Bayless for 3. Nails it again. They really got to get a defender out there on Jarrett Bayless because the off-ball movement has been great by the Sixers, but a good defensive effort there by the Nets as Miles Bridges brings it back up the floor. Pass inside to Bam Adebayo, who slams it home. What a huge jam there by Bam. Later on, Sixers still up by 3. We're in the 4th. Bayless, little jab step, and Nerlens Noel swatting away Joel Embiid's shot, and great defense there again to deny him the second opportunity. McCullough back up the floor, inside to Kilpatrick, into Nerlens Noel, who slams it home over Saric. Nets now only down by 1. Bayless jacking up another 3. This time it misses. Embiid not able to go ahead and get the tip. Here's Kilpatrick. Nerlens Noel off ball, driving to the paint, gets the pass and slams it home. 75-74 with Brooklyn up, and now Clarkson driving past Jarrett Bayless and gets it over Saric but can't get it to go. And then look at this. Look at this sequence here. Clarkson again after a bad pass by Saric gets picked off by McDermott, and he's still not able to go. And then back up the floor comes Gary Neal out to Saric. Top of the key, nails the 3. Sixers go back up by 2 after a wacky sequence there. Ben Simmons trying to drive past Rondae Hollis Jefferson. They're up by 4. Okafor gets it inside to Aaron Baines. Normally the guy getting dunked on, this time shows off the dunk face to Chris McCullough. Baines working down low. What a interesting fadeaway shot there. Not able to get it to go. Nets down by 4. Clarkson gonna try to drive here past Jarrett Bayless. Gets one step by him and is able to go ahead and take that stride all the way to the basket as he lays it up and in. Nerlens Noel would check back into this game at this point. He had actually suffered an ankle injury somewhere in the middle of this game. And then Kilpatrick here getting past Gary Neal on the floater, able to hit. Nets now only down by 2. 3 minutes to go. Ben Simmons driving to the basket. trying to get a shot up over Hollis Jefferson, and great defense there by Rondé as he denies him the bucket. Kilpatrick back up the other way. Kick out to Clarkson in the corner. 3-ball goes. 95-94. 2 minutes left now for the Sixers. Sixers up by 1. Okafor lays that one in, and now the lead is up to 3. Later on, Philly up by 1. Ben Simmons trying to drive with a minute left to go here and doesn't get it to go. Kilpatrick back up the other way, driving past Gary Neal, able to get it in. Miles Bridges getting some crucial minutes here in clutch time and slams it in with 2 hands. Nets now up by 1. 43 seconds to go here for Philadelphia. Ben Simmons brings it out to the right wing. Trying to drive past Rondé Hollis Jefferson and gets this one to go. I thought Rondé played better defense this time, and somehow Ben Simmons hangs and hits that one. So now it's Jordan Clarkson time. 27 seconds. ISO on Jarrett Bayless. Crossover to the basket. Lays it up and in with the roll. 101-100. Nets up by 1 with 22 seconds to go. Teammates all over Money Clarkson. So now Philly will take possession here. Jarrett Bayless inside to Simmons. Kick out. Gary Neal for 3. Doesn't go. Rebounded by Ben Simmons. A terrible box out effort there by the Knicks. Now here comes Bayless. Pull-up jumper. Able to hit it. Sixers go up by 1 with 1.4 left on the clock. Nets will call timeout, and now they have to draw up a play here. They're going to go to Clarkson. 3-pointer up and no good. The Nets were very competitive in this one against Philadelphia, but they can't get the W as they lose 102-101 on the Sixers home court. Ben Simmons leading the way for the Sixers with 22 points, 8 assists, 8 rebounds, 6 assists. And Jahlil Okafor with a double-double, 20 points, 10 rebounds, as they both combined to terrorize the Nets tonight. Jordan Clarkson led the way in scoring with 18 points, 5 boards, and 5 assists. Bam doing a great job off the bench with 17 points. Maybe a better fit if he replaces Randall than McDermott. And Kilpatrick also put up 16 of his own, as well as Nerlens Noel with a double-double, 13 points and 10 rebounds. So another heartbreaking loss for the Nets, but they competed a lot in that game. I love the effort that they showed there. And now we focus on next week, which your matchups are at home with the Golden State Warriors, away against the Orlando Magic, at home to take on the Sixers again, or at home to play the Chicago Bulls. Tell me down in the comments who do you want to see below. And if you don't already know, the Warriors are on a 34-game win streak and have lost once this entire season. You really want to see that one? You let me know in the comments down below. The recruiting spotlight this week is going to go on Darrell Jefferson, the guy in my logo. A lot of people had questions about him in particular. So Darrell Jefferson is actually a product of Philadelphia from Sacred Heart Prep, the same school that is responsible for Hakeem Rozier, who may go #1 this year playing at NC State, as well as Derek Patterson, who was the #1 high school recruit in all of America, who's currently at Kentucky. Darrell Jefferson got a little overlooked with the two of them playing at Sacred Heart along with him, and he decided originally he was going to go to Villanova and instead decided to go to USC once he got the offer to come out west and play for the Trojans. He's a very good all-around shooting guard, very good, much better on the defensive end, and I think that as a player in the NBA, his best fit is going to be as a role player, kind of a do-it-all guy, and I think if he improves a lot on his jump shot and a lot on his range, he can probably last about 10 to 12 years in the NBA once he gets here. Now, the biggest part of Darrell Jefferson's offensive game is his ability to drive, and I think if he creates disruption there, and the role that he's had to play at USC essentially is becoming the point guard and improves his passing, he can be a really deadly combo guard at the next level. He's doing all right thus far. He's averaging about 17 points and 5 assists per game, so I'm interested to see how that translates once he gets to the next level. A lot of people also had questions about Brad Marsh, who is a power forward playing at Sonoma State. He was actually a JUCO transfer who came to Michigan and got kicked off the team. He came back to his home state to go ahead and play for Sonoma State, and he's been absolutely dominating Division III ball thus far, and he's still kind of an interesting prospect. He's a little high on some boards. I don't know if he'll actually go that high. I can't really give much about his game since there's no footage of him at Michigan and it's really hard to find tape of him at Sonoma, but he's an interesting prospect. I've heard that he's actually a pretty good outside shooter as well, so maybe a stretch big man is what you're looking for there if you're trying to go after Brad Marsh. Also, there's an update on Ricky Shea's brother, Landon Shays, who's playing out at UCLA. He will not enter the draft this year. After seeing that Joey Claxton and Lucas Keller from Germany will be coming over to the team, he's decided to stay an extra year and try to compete for a national championship, as it looks like UCLA might not make the 64 final teams this year. I should say 68 final teams this year in the tournament. So go ahead and leave in the comments down below which game you want to see next week, and then also which recruit you want me to focus on as well, or I guess prospect you want me to focus on for next week's prospect spotlight. There are also some international prospects out there too, like Marcel Dupree, the point guard from France, who's got a lot of hype behind him, as well as Tyshawn Linhart, who's going to be, I think, an interesting raw prospect out there from Canada. Thank you again for watching the NBA 2K17 myLeague Brooklyn Nets series. I'll see you again next episode, and don't forget to subscribe down below.